Hello and welcome. If you're like me and you couldn't get your hands on a UTR before it sold out, in this video I'm going to show you how to get exactly the same functionalities with the Beryl AX. So what we have here is a UniFi G3 Instant, and we will connect it to our travel network. Afterward, we will still be able to view the feed on our UniFi Protect dashboard as if the camera was in our home. I'll be going over what did not work, why didn't it work, and eventually what does work. So let's get started. First, what did not work? So initially, I tried the obvious solutions, which is creating my home Wi-Fi network on the Beryl AX, meaning the same SSID and exactly the same password. And I thought that the G3 would connect automatically. Spoiler alert, it didn't. So although there was a network present with the same SSID, same password, the camera just refused to connect. It was not looking for a Wi-Fi network. It was looking for a Wi-Fi network that the UniFi controller is aware of. Second thing I tried was readapting the camera while connecting to the Beryl AX, thinking that this way the camera would store the required credentials. That also failed. Doing so gave me this error screen. That's when it became clear. This wasn't a Wi-Fi or a credentials issue. That was a routing issue. In the first step, we're gonna resegment our home network. This step is not mandatory as it depends on your home network topology, but it makes security easier later on and the policies more manageable. In this second step, we will configure a WireGuard server on our UniFi controller that we have at home. For me, it's gonna be a Dream Machine for us to remotely connect. In this step, we will configure a WireGuard client on the Beryl AX and redirect all guest network traffic via that tunnel. In the fourth step, we will configure the Beryl AX guest network, its client isolation, and traffic control. In this step, we can switch the already adopted camera Wi-Fi network to our travel network on the Beryl AX. In this last step, we will just see how we can verify that everything is working as it should, that our camera is connected to the correct network, and that the traffic is secure via our WireGuard tunnel. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said in the beginning, this step is not mandatory but recommended as it will make policies and firewall rules easier in the future. So our main end goal here is to create a network to host our Protect device. And that means our cameras, PoE, Wi-Fi's and such, so that each device on that network will get an IP address based on that subnet. That will make our life. If you don't know much about VLANs, it's really useful skill to know and would make managing your network, or actually any network, a lot more reliable and a lot more stable. Although there are a lot of VLANs guys on YouTube, probably from more knowledgeable people than myself, let me know in the comments if I should do a VLAN guide or not. So as you can see, I already created this VLAN here, the new one. If you don't know how to create a VLAN on a UniFi system, it's very simple. You just create and click new here, and then you have this slide pop-up window. Of the network, a router. I'm assuming if you have more than one, you can select it. Zone should be internal. If you select anything else, it will just create its own automatically policies and firewall rules, and we would like to control that ourselves, so let's keep that as internal. You select your IP address or the IP subnet, and you select your VLAN ID.
As a rule of thumb, VLAN ID should be the third segment, so VLAN ID 2 will be third segment 2, and so on. But it's not set in stone, so you can select whatever you want. The last thing we want to do before clicking on the create is to move this toggle to manual. And once we do so, we can uncheck this internet access, because our Protect devices, and generally all of your infrastructure devices, should not initiate connects to the internet. This is just a precaution in case this VLAN ever becomes compromised, would reduce our blast radius. And anyway, Protect devices and cameras only communicate to the gateway. They do not require direct internet access, so it's unneeded for them to have this feature enabled. Once we do that, we can just click on the create and it will create our new VLAN. For the next step, we want to create our WireGuard server. This would allow us to remotely connect to our machine at home and would allow the camera remotely to transfer video as if it was connected locally. This would also allow support recording to an NVR if you have one at home. So we're gonna access our VPN server from this page. As we can see, we already have one. Creating one is quite simple. You just click on this create new, which is going to get you to this page. So we will select a new WireGuard server, give it a name. You will need your keys later, so keep them private for now. And you can specify your IP and port. If you want to use a no IP service like DuckDNS or anything else or any other domain, you can specify that via the use alternate address for clients. All other options here like IP and subnet we can specify, but for now we're gonna click on the add client, which will allow us to download the configuration page to upload to our Beryl AX. An alternative way to connect would be via the private and public key, but this way is just a lot easier. And all the remaining options here, such as the IP, subnet, DNS server, and so on, we're just gonna leave as is. Okay, so this step is fairly short and straightforward. We will just configure our VPN on the Beryl AX using the config file that we downloaded in the previous step. On the side menu, we can expand our VPN menu and click on the WireGuard client. As we can see, I already have mine set up here, and we have all of these preset configurations that we can choose from, but we're gonna create our new one. For that, we're gonna click on the new group, and we can drag and drop our config file here. We can also go to the manually add configuration if you like to do things the hard way, but the config file will just do it automatically for us. Once we have that set up, I'm gonna just delete this. We will get this window, which has our name, our VPN server, and we can also have manual input if we want to change any or have an upload later on. And we can also view and edit any more details for advanced usage, but we're not gonna do that. Once we have that all in place, we can go to our VPN dashboard. And originally this page will be in global mode. If we want to use a split tunnel, we will use a policy mode. If you don't want a split tunnel and you want to just traffic all of your traffic via your VPN, you can use the global mode. Once you select the policy mode, we need to select the connection type. I selected guest, all traffic from guest network. You can also specify all the wired and the primary network, and the guest network will be for other usage. Or you can also specify a specific device if you want to be more specific about which device you want to traffic. After that, we're gonna leave all targets. You can also specify a specific domain, but seeing that we're gonna do a split tunnel and manage that on our UniFi machine, we can just select all traffic. And we can use our WireGuard server. You can also not use VPN and just inverse the whole process, but I don't see the use of that. Once we have that in place, we would want to keep this other traffic on. Otherwise, anything that is not being trafficked via the VPN server will not go outside, and we want that. So we will make sure that this is kept on. And once we have that in place, right now it says connecting because I do not have a network connection on the Beryl AX. Once I will have a connection, so it will have the details, I will just say that you cannot VPN from inside the UniFi network. You need to be outside, like a tethering from a mobile network or another Wi-Fi that is not hosted on the UniFi machine. That's related to NAT addressing and so on. And with this step finished, we can move to the next step. This was quite simple. Now, in our Protect dashboard, we want to move our already adapted travel camera to our new Wi-Fi network. It's already on a whole different IP subnet. Its connection excellent, status online. We can see the SSID is on Protect SSID at the bottom. And to do so, we just move to the gearbox at the right top corner, scroll down to Wi-Fi settings, and we need to select our Protect SSID. Okay, so back to our Beryl AX dashboard. Right now, I'm tethering this via my smartphone, and we're getting an IP address. And we can see in the client list that our travel camera is connected into the guest network, as we can see by the small icon here. The VPN toggle is green, so it's connected. And by going to the dashboard, we can see that the primary tunnel is also green. We have a server address, we have a listening port, traffic statistics. Everything seems to order. So this is the setup I have in front of me. I have the G3 camera here powered by an Anker power bank. Also the Beryl AX is powered by the same power bank. It's also a very simple power bank. And the smartphone is tethering its cellular service via the USB cable. And as we can see on our Protect dashboard, the video is quite seamless. We don't see any hiccups. And it just works.